You might think I'm crazy for suggesting that you should not do research when a game project is starting. And to explain that, I'm going to explain why I take this approach and the three main reasons why I do that to actually improve the game's quality down the line. So let's jump right in. The first reason is that once you start researching other games similar to the one that you want to create or you're about to start making, that basically shapes your mind about what's available in these games and how these games look, how these games play, what the general feeling is in these games. And unknowingly, you're being led down that path, that creative process. So, of course, this happens unconsciously. Internally, you're feeling good, thinking that you're doing your part as an academic, as a game scholar or whatever. So you're researching other samples to find the best ideas. But it's exactly that process that basically makes you unknowingly copy many aspects of these games, and even worse, inherit some of their flaws. And by flaws, I mean gameplay issues that were not resolved in these original games. Now, of course, here you're always a step behind because the team that originally made these games that you're researching and you're referencing, they know about these flaws, but perhaps they didn't have time to solve them, or they attempted a few things and they know what they would have attempted next. But when you're doing this, you don't have this luxury. You simply accept what you see as, an existing sample out there, and before you know it, that part, that game or that style of playing lives rent-free in the back of your mind and will always be there, especially in this very critical part of starting the game. The second reason is that if you don't do that research in other games early on in the game's development, the game will naturally develop its own originality. So of course that doesn't mean that you create this new game or that you got inspired to make this new game in a vacuum. Of course you got inspired by something out there, another game you played that you thought was cool, or a movie you watched or something. So that's completely normal. Everybody gets inspired by the world around them. But that inspiration is critical. That sliver of fun or that interesting idea that you found and you thought, this would make a cool game, or if you change this, then that would be the beginning of something that people haven't seen yet. That is very important, and that lends itself very well to creating some initial originality for the game. And of course, if you're starting from scratch on something and you're not just iterating on something, of course that's what you want. And it wouldn't be my video if there weren't some sirens exactly at the time when I make these videos. So let's wait for it to stop. Oh, okay, I can think again. And just so you think that research has no place in this development process, of course that's not true. Research has its place, but it's down here. Research, I find, can happen later. Once the core idea of the game is set, once you know what the basic idea is about and what the game wants to be, what you want the game to be, then performing the research has an immense benefit, but not in the direction you're probably imagining. So of course, by that time, the idea or the project or the prototype has matured enough to be able to benefit from quality of life ideas. So in every game we develop, there's all these inconvenient parts or things that players find annoying that we as developers are blind to because we're used to these things being part of the project. But new time users find these things. So these are usually things around navigation, opening the map, selecting your weapons, finding your objective, understanding game mechanics, remembering what happened up to now. So all these daily life inside the game issues that players find are very important to them. They're very sensitive to that. And yes, players, especially if they're big lovers of this particular genre or theme, will have played the games that you want to research, and they will think internally, man, why does this game do this? This other game I played that's similar has solved all these issues already. Great. That is the time to do the game research. That is when you can get ideas about how to fix these daily nuances and difficulties and inconveniences for the player. And of course, it's not that you're going to copy them one to one, but seeing how other games deal with the same obstacles or problems is a great source of inspiration for using their solution in your own way or crafting a very original solution to the same problems. So to give you an idea for this, think about how games do crosshairs or targeting, or how the crosshair changes its shape or its color when you target an enemy, or when an enemy is out of range, or while your gun is reloading while you have the crosshair showing. So these are all mini problems that the players face that we as developers have to solve to make their experience in the game smooth and enjoyable. So anyway, that's it for today. I hope this makes the developer, the life of at least one other developer out there better. And I would also love to hear your opinion on this topic. If you think I missed something or you have a different approach for this, I'm all ears. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, have fun.